Let's face it, you've been manipulated your entire life. They want you to believe your desire is your identity, your appetite, who you are. But this isn't your story. They planted it like a thorn guiding you without you knowing. Want the truth they buried? Stick around. The last part is the only one that truly matters. You willingly accepted this lie, becoming a smiling slave, a prisoner convinced of his own freedom. The most insidious part, you believe a life without constant pleasure and validation is a life not worth living, even a form of death. Why? Because someone ensnared by desire is effortlessly controlled. When you chase lust, you lose touch with your soul. Your relentless need to impress fuels not your own empire, but someone else's. But here's the game changer, the truth that will shatter everything you thought you knew. You don't have to surrender your desire. Instead, you must learn to wield it as a powerful weapon to truly master your mind. Desensitizing your mind isn't about shutting it down. It's about radically redirecting its energy. It's transforming your focus from fleeting external success to profound internal mastery. What I'm revealing here isn't abstinence, but a powerful act of transmutation. This, my friend, is the crucial secret they've deliberately hidden from you. The desensitized mind is the modern individual's ultimate weapon. A person who refuses to blindly follow their instincts becomes dangerously unpredictable. Think about it. You're in a room, everyone conforming, and then someone walks in who simply doesn't play by those rules. You're unsure whether to fear them or admire them, but one thing is clear. They possess a profound power, even if you can't articulate why. They possess it because they refuse to squander their own will. Reflect on your own life. How many decisions have you made purely out of a desperate need for external recognition? How many paths did you abandon because of the crippling fear of not being good enough? How often have you poured your precious time, money, and energy into gaining approval only to lose a piece of yourself each time? The brutal truth is, you did it willingly, even with a smile, mistakenly believing it was liberation. But hear this clearly. The desensitized mind is not cold or devoid of passion. It is a mind that burns fiercely but does not consume itself. It is a spirit that observes, understands, and even respects desire, yet refuses to be its servant. This mind is not a slave, it is a queen, a master strategist. The moment desire ceases to be your tyrannical ruler and becomes your loyal servant, everything shifts. The game of life changes entirely. Let's venture into a darker reality. Picture the individual who dedicates his entire existence to gaining approval for his physique, living solely to be appreciated. He trains relentlessly, dresses impeccably, even incurs debt, all for a mere spectacle. When he finally achieves that fleeting recognition, there's a momentary feeling of victory, yet it dissipates within minutes, an illusion that was never truly his to begin with. Then the insidious cycle begins anew. This isn't self-esteem. It's addiction, cleverly cloaked as success or masculinity. Now let me ask you a question that will undoubtedly disturb you. If tomorrow no one could possibly desire you, would you still genuinely feel worthy? If your answer is no, then you are profoundly lost. You've built your entire identity on treacherous, shifting sands, and with every passing second, you sink further into their grasp. The path out is clear. Desensitize your mind. Sever your intrinsic worth from external appreciation. Reclaim your true self. Begin anew. This journey, however, is far from comfortable, for it demands the deliberate sacrifice of a part of who you've become, a role meticulously crafted since your very first exposure to advertising, your first compliment, the first time you were told a real man wins. Let me offer a crucial correction. A real man conquers himself. And to achieve this, you require a truly free spirit, a mind that doesn't merely react, but consciously decides, one that doesn't waver in doubt, but confidently chooses. Have you ever wondered why towering leaders, profound thinkers, and groundbreaking creators exude an almost supernatural aura? It's because their minds are desensitized, not from a complete absence of desire, but from a complete mastery of it. They have transmuted their raw energy into focused action, their relentless drive into compelling vision, their deepest thirsts into an enduring legacy. While the vast majority of the world chases fleeting bodies, they are relentlessly pursuing eternity. Let's delve even deeper because the bedrock of psychology confirms this truth. As Freud himself observed, sexual energy, when not squandered, can be sublimated, a profound term. Do you grasp its implication? The very same primal force that threatens to drag you into the abyss has the power to propel you to the summit of Olympus. Once you master the control of this inner fire, you can build entire worlds with it. When you cease simply reacting to life, you unlock the ability to truly create. This is a profound alchemy, psychological, mental, human. You're probably asking how to achieve this. Understand, this isn't an overnight transformation. It's an unwavering battle against your own conditioning. The moment you feel that familiar itch to impress, stop. Interrogate that feeling. Why? Whenever the gnawing need for validation arises, take a deliberate breath and calmly observe the emptiness within. This is where the trap lies. We've been programmed to flee from emptiness, but emptiness is not your adversary. It is the sacred, boundless space where you can finally rebuild yourself, stone by conscious stone. The desensitized mind is inherently dangerous, precisely because it operates without need. And if you harbor no needs, you will never beg. If you never beg, no one can exploit you. Therefore, you are truly free. Can you imagine walking through life without the constant subconscious effort to be seen or recognized? It's akin to moving serenely above the relentless noise, existing in a world consumed by clamor while you navigate in profound silence. This silence, you see, is terrifying. It's terrifying because it's profoundly revealing. It disturbs others because it exposes their own frantic pursuit of external validation, shattering their comfortable illusions. This is why so many will actively attack you for choosing this path. You are a living mirror reflecting their weakness, demonstrating the existence of a different way, and that truth cuts deep. A conditioned, servile individual cannot bear the sight of someone truly unmoving, unshaken. They will resort to anything to drag you back. They will mock your silence, ridicule your self-control, labeling you cold, strange, and distant, all because you've stripped them of their convenient excuses. When you were a slave to desire, everything felt fine to them. But your newfound freedom, that idea becomes utterly unbearable. This unconventional path will bring loneliness, for it is neither popular, celebrated, nor rewarded. Yet despite the isolation, you'll feel an unshakable certainty blossoming deep within you, an internal axis that remains perfectly still even as the world around it quakes. This is the profound power of the desensitized mind. It needs to prove nothing. It simply is. And its mere existence transmutes its entire environment. But then, the real struggle begins. The true enemy isn't external, it resides within you. It's that insidious inner voice whispering that you can't, that it's not worth the effort, that it's simply easier to just play along. You must silence that voice, for it is not authentically yours. It is the voice of the world speaking through your mouth. You silence it not with shouts or frantic action, but with unwavering discipline, with a will as razor-sharp as a forged sword. If you commit to this internal work, a day will arrive when you look back and utterly fail to recognize your former self, because that old self was merely programmed, while your current self is profoundly awake. This awakening is brutal, for it reveals everything. You will see those who crawl, discern the delicate threads of manipulation, and truly behold the chains that bind, and then you leave. Not because it's inherently better, but because you have made a conscious choice that almost no one else dares to make, the choice for absolute control. So the next time that urge to seek validation rears its head, stand before a mirror. Look at yourself, not at your body, not at your clothes, but truly into yourself. Then ask the defining question, who is really in charge here? If the answer isn't unequivocally you, then you are not yet free. But if you can meet your own gaze, hold your head high, and declare with absolute conviction that you are indeed the one in command, then you have truly succeeded. You have shattered the cycle, you have crossed the definitive line, and there is no going back. That, my friend, is ultimate power. This is unyielding freedom. And this, precisely this, is what they genuinely fear. The desensitized mind is more than just modern man's greatest weapon. It's a revolutionary force. Now let's unlock an even deeper chamber. If the desensitized mind is indeed the weapon, then an unavoidable question emerges. Who precisely are you fighting against? Most mistakenly believe the battle is waged against other people, against society, culture, or the endless external noise. And yes, those are certainly entangled factors. But the true enemy, the most insidious and dangerous of all, is emotional conditioning. This invisible, pervasive system dictates your reactions without conscious thought. It's the mechanism that has subtly interwoven concepts like joy and gratitude, merged self-esteem with desire, and tethered your very identity to the fleeting echo of an approving glance. This is the heart of emotional conditioning, a psychological trap that warps your entire relationship with the world, with yourself, and with your deepest goals. Desire, you see, is rarely born pure. It is often cultivated, polite, and profoundly manipulative. From childhood, we are indoctrinated with the belief that love must be earned, that our worth is meticulously measured by the attention we garner, that those who are unwanted simply cease to exist. The devastating consequence: a fractured individual perpetually seeking self-respect from external sources. Yet, this emotional conditioning extends far beyond mere sexual desire. It's a far deeper matrix. It influences the very dialogue you have with yourself, the decisions you make, and critically how you confront silence. It's that primal fear that grips you when no one reaches out, that hollow emptiness when there's no external validation confirming your existence. This isn't just a craving, it's a reflexive addiction, an unconscious compulsion, and someone trapped by reflexive addiction remains utterly blind to their own inner reality. The desensitized mind is also one that has deliberately severed itself from this reflexive outward gaze. It has stopped seeking its reflection externally. It has learned to embrace solitude without succumbing to emptiness. Because here is the brutal, undeniable truth. It's not actually loneliness that terrifies you. It's what you confront, what you hear when you finally face that stillness. It's the cacophony of your own inner noise, the relentless echo of every insecurity you've desperately tried to muffle with distractions. Do you understand why so many stumble and fail when faced with silence? Because they simply don't know how to navigate it. Silence offers no deception, no flattery, no conveniently distorted image of who you wish to be. Silence, in its unyielding purity, reveals who you really are. This is precisely why you run from it, why you flee towards the clamor of desire and distraction, to anything that can obscure this raw, unblemished reflection. But here's the profound trick. Within that very silence lies your untapped power. In this unflinching, unfiltered mirror resides the truth you've been avoiding. For when you finally cease to react instinctively, you begin to truly observe. And when you observe without the distortions of need or external impulse, you unveil profound truths. The nuanced subtleties of body language, the hidden intentions lurking beneath words, the raw currents of projected emotions, all laid bare. From this new vantage point within, you no longer react. Instead, you calculate, you analyze, you strategically act. You shed the role of the emotional actor and become the master chess player. For the desensitized mind is not a dead mind, it is a profoundly strategic mind, viewing the entire world as its chessboard. Let's delve to the very root of the problem. That blind impulse, so often mistaken for genuine passion, is in fact fear disguised, a pervasive need, an emotional dependence cleverly masked as desire, and it systematically weakens you. An addicted individual, even one cloaked in apparent strength, bleeds internally, and the world senses that vulnerability. The crucial question you must ask yourself isn't how do I win, but why must I win? Because if your actions are fundamentally rooted in need, everything you construct will be tainted, inherently fragile, and perpetually unstable. And the modern individual yearning for true freedom simply cannot afford such fragility. You cannot afford to rely on the fleeting smile of another to feel truly alive. This brings us to a concept tragically misunderstood by so few: emotional autonomy. It is that unwavering state of mind where you cease begging for external energy and begin to generate it from within. It's the profound moment your inner state, your very mood, liberates itself from the capricious whims of the outside world. Consider the multitude of people emotionally shattered because they have failed to cultivate this autonomy. They exist in perpetual anticipation of external validation. Their inner peace is held hostage by the responses they receive. Their self-esteem a volatile reflection of the number of likes they accumulate. This is not life. This is a sophisticated form of digital slavery. Emotional autonomy grants you the power to walk away from situations without manufactured drama, to assert no without a flicker of guilt, to feel utterly whole without ever needing to impress. Your existence becomes an unassailable truth, no longer contingent on the fleeting will or approval of others. The moment you achieve this profound autonomy, a shift occurs not just within you, but in how others perceive you. They sense something undeniably different, an unsettling presence they can't quite name. They become apprehensive because this quality cannot be bought, cannot be born, cannot be worn. It's an internal fortress. And in a world where everyone wears ubiquitous masks, such genuine self-possession is a palpable threat. But exercise caution. Do not mistake this autonomy for isolation. It's not about severing connections. It's about engaging from a position of complete fulfillment, not gnawing need. An authentically whole person doesn't relinquish connections out of fear of loneliness. They do so voluntarily, with conscious intent. And this distinction changes absolutely everything. For love that springs from genuine choice is pure freedom. Love born of desperate necessity is nothing but a gilded cage. Now let's talk about the power of focus. All that redirected energy demands a profound purpose. The desensitized mind doesn't empty itself. It reinvests that potent energy directly into creation, manifesting meaning, presence, and unparalleled depth. Here's another harsh truth. Untamed desire is a master of distraction. But when you exert mastery over it, life itself appears to slow down. You become acutely more aware, more profoundly centered, more authentically present. And in that heightened state, you begin to perceive what the unawakened majority entirely misses. A truly centered individual is not merely intense. They are precise, selective, and singularly effective. In a world utterly scattered by incessant demands, the one who masterfully commands their focus inevitably triumphs. Do you recognize the true superpower in our age of relentless stimulation? It is sustained attention, the unwavering ability to remain profoundly present without distraction, without being sidetracked, without succumbing to the urge for immediate gratification. This singular capacity is what fundamentally separates empire builders from those forever lost in the haze. But perhaps the most potent truth of all is this: those who desensitize their minds do not cease to feel. On the contrary, they begin to experience everything with exhilarating clarity. By rigorously filtering out the incessant noise, your perception sharpens, your intuition becomes an unerring guide, and your judgment grows profoundly accurate. Your very presence becomes undeniably stronger. You no longer speak merely to please. You speak to ignite change. You no longer act to impress. You act to command a powerful, disruptive shockwave. And that, my friend, is the essence of true revolution. A mind that no longer instinctively reacts like an animal, but consciously operates as the architect of its own existence. A mind that requires no external applause, because it acts from an inherent, unshakable purpose. A mind that doesn't desperately seek connection because it is utterly complete within itself. The world, quite frankly, is utterly unprepared for individuals of this caliber. They are impossible to manipulate because they refuse to buy the illusions constantly being sold. They refuse to conform to any predetermined mold. But you, listener, are not here to fit in. You are here to shatter the mold, to dismantle the system from the inside out. Be the defiant anomaly, the living proof that it is entirely possible to live in true freedom, to feel unbound by dependency, and to cultivate an electrifying intensity without ever losing control. This is your inherent role. This is your destined path. The desensitized mind isn't an endpoint. It is the radical, exhilarating beginning. It marks the dawn of an entirely new way of simply being in this world, a fresh paradigm for inhabiting your body, commanding your mind, and wielding your precious time. It's a new way to love without ever begging, to create without seeking permission, to exist unfettered by chains. And when you finally reach this profound state, you will utterly comprehend why every ounce of pain and struggle was undeniably worth it. Because you won't just be surviving anymore. You will be truly, authentically living. No desperate needs, no deceptive masks, no paralyzing fear. Just you, anchored by your unyielding iron will. This is the truth of who you are now. This is who you become the moment you choose to cease being a slave. This is what you embody when you finally choose freedom. We have now reached a profound precipice. Not merely the end of this video, but the edge of an abyss within yourself. It is no mere coincidence that you have persevered this far. There is something within you that has already begun to stir, something that has been knocking persistently at the door of your consciousness for a very long time, simply waiting for its moment to emerge. This is not just another conversation. It is not simply another video. This is a brutal mirror, and you instinctively know it. While others continue their desperate flight from their own destiny, you stand here, unflinchingly confronting your most raw, unfiltered reflection. I need you to grasp this deeply. The desensitized mind is not some fleeting trend, nor is it a mere pose for social media. It is not a comfortable, palatable philosophy. It is an outright declaration of war, a silent internal war waged against every force that holds you captive, against every mental current you once mistook for a gentle caress, against every impulse you once deluded yourself into believing was freedom. This is not oppression. This is a radical act of choice, a demand for absolute control over everything, or rather nothing. Absolutely nothing but your decision of who you are. Do you grasp why this isn't genuinely an ending? Because what truly begins now is the hardest, most pivotal part: application. It's about taking everything you've just absorbed and weaving it into the fabric of your daily existence, living these truths. This is precisely where the majority falter. While initial understanding offers a surge of strength, it is the unwavering maintenance of that understanding, day after relentless day, that transforms you completely. It carves you into one of the rare few capable of gazing unflinchingly into the world's eye without ever bowing your head. And at this juncture, I must issue a stark warning. You will inevitably shed things, relinquish people, abandon old habits, and depart from spaces that no longer align with your true self. Such is the non-negotiable price of freedom. You cannot carry everything with you across this threshold. Yet, what you gain in return will transcend any perceived loss. You will acquire unblemished clarity and profound inner peace, an identity so intrinsically authentic that you'll never again feel the need to reinvent yourself each morning. You will command the formidable strength to genuinely need nothing. And from that unshakable foundation, you can, quite literally, build anything. Now I want you to do something, not for me, but for you. In the comments below, write this single potent sentence: "Those who need nothing rule." This phrase will be my confirmation that you not only reached the very end, but that you are not just another fleeting viewer. You are one of the rare few who truly feels this, one of those unequivocally ready to rewrite the rules, even if it means orchestrating a profound internal inferno to burn everything down. If this message deeply resonates with you, if you sense that this isn't merely entertainment, but an inner revolution stirring within, then join this journey. Because here you will not encounter the same tired, recycled messages pervasive everywhere else. Here we will relentlessly dismantle every single layer of lies that has been imposed upon you. Here we will expose your most raw, most liberated, most profound self. I'll see you in the next video, or perhaps not. The choice ultimately is yours alone. But if and when you do return, ensure you are not the same person. Return wiser, sharper, and utterly more yourself. And now I bid you farewell, in the manner most fitting to this revelation, in complete, resonant silence. Let every single word you've heard tonight echo and reverberate within your consciousness. Because if you find yourself unable to sleep after this video, it's not a misfortune. It's the undeniable sign that you are, at last, truly waking up. I see you where few people ever bother to look, deep inside.